Hey, welcome to another episode of The Black Knitter. I am Liz, the Black Knitter, and y'all, I know it's been a minute, more than a hot minute. It's been since June, I think, that I have posted a podcast. So I apologize for taking so long, but life has been really kind of crazy. A lot has been happening. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know some of that. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in my update. So we're just going to jump right in. So we're going to start with a little Habarigani. What's the news? What's happening? So, a lot. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa, December 26th, if you're watching this later. And I'm excited about that. I've got my Kwanzaa stuff back there. I need to get it all together so we can do our first candle lighting tonight. You'll probably catch me on Instagram. I'll probably do that candle lighting via Instagram Live. So if you haven't experienced Kwanzaa and you want to, I will be going Instagram Live all week during the candle lighting just so that you can see what it's like. So I hope that you will join me for that. And I'll try to save those so they're available. I have been doing a lot of knitting. I've been doing some teaching over at Harps and Thistles. So if you're in Northeast Ohio, Harps and Thistles is a great place to take classes. I'm actually taking one myself in addition to doing teaching there. I'm also a student. I'm always learning. I love to learn. And so I'm taking a class, and I'll show you that when we get to our Kuumba or creativity section of the podcast. Since the last time that I was before you, I was promoted again. My former dean was asked to take an interim role at my university for a couple of years. She asked me to, while she did that, to take on the interim dean role. So I am now interim dean, and that comes with a lot of responsibility and obligations. I am working at a level that I've, never worked at before. So I have been a student at work because I've had to learn a lot. And I'm still learning. So that's one of the reasons that I have not been posting regularly. I've just been really busy at work and just trying to keep my head above water. So if any of you have started a new job, you know what that's like to be in a space where you're not the expert anymore, right? It has been a huge learning curve for me. I appreciate the opportunity. I am learning a lot. And I have a great group of people that I work for, which is the only reason I agreed to do this, is because they are so great. So that part has been really wonderful. People have just been really supportive and really willing to show me some grace and offer to help me when I have requested assistance. So that's been happening. Also, my mom has had some health challenges. She has had some pretty severe osteoarthritis for a time, but she finally had surgery a couple of months ago to help alleviate some of her pain. and it was a complicated surgery. It has been a slow recovery, and she actually has to go in for a CT scan later this week because they think that some of the hardware that they placed is already starting to shift. So we are kind of anxiously awaiting whether or not she's going to have another surgery, depending on what's going on with that hardware. So if you are a praying person, I appreciate and covet your prayers, especially for my mother, for my strength. So that has been happening. A joy, though, is that we have a new addition to our family. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen our new puppy. He's not a puppy. He's 3 years old, I believe. He'll be 4 in January. But we got a new rescue. We have named him Corbin. He's a purebred Yorkie. A really happy-go-lucky little guy. He's in the other room, sleeping on the couch. Or I'd show him to you. Maybe he'll pop in at some point. Corby's coming. Hey, buddy, come here. Hi. Hi, we want the peoples to see you. Say hi. Say hi. So this is a good guy. He's a lot bigger than Mr. Nico. He's about 6 pounds, but he is really happy and pretty laid back. He's getting along with our other dog, Jet, really well. He's just been really fun. I've probably said this before on this podcast. Oops. If you want a purebred dog, you can rescue them. You don't have to buy them. But his story is pretty awesome. One of my cousins is involved in a rescue that brings dogs from Kuwait. And it's the same cousin who introduced us to Nico and our other dog, Jet. She knew I was ready for another dog. And she just kept her eyes open, and they got this family of 4 Yorkies in. And she let me know. And I went and picked him up over Labor Day weekend. So he's been here for a while. He's adjusting well, and we love him. Yes, I'm talking about you. We love you. You're a good boy. You are. Now he's going to want me to keep picking him up. But I need my hands free. I can't think of anything else to tell you. Did a little bit of traveling. I've been to Orlando. I'm going to go back at the end of January to see my daughter. I've been to Baltimore to see my cousin. And while I was there, I actually got to visit Gathering Yarns, which is Terry's new shop, Terry at Haynes House Yarns. I've talked about them before. So Terry and Brian have a new yarn shop it's near Washington, D.C. Really great space. I wrote about them and a few other yarn shops and in a Interweaves article a couple months ago. It was in August. So check that out if you haven't seen it. But I'll include some footage at the end of this video of the shop. Terry is just an awesome person. It was really nice just sitting down and talking with her to get her to know her a little better, and what, the space that she's trying to create at Gathering Yarns. So I can't wait to go back the next time I'm in the area. I'm gonna try my best to get by there so I can hang out some more in that space. So if you are in the DC area, you should definitely check out Gathering Yarns. What else? I think that's the main stuff for now. I want to talk a little bit, we do a little bit of education, elimu, and I've been thinking about a couple of things. It's the season of Christmas, of course. And I heard a couple of things that really, really spoke to me. One of those was something that Fatimah of Disturbing the Fleece shared on Instagram. It was regarding one of my favorite Christmas songs, Mary Did You Know? It really resonated with me. I told her she preached a sermon. She probably wasn't intending to, but it was a sermon for me. And the question that she asked, that this song brought to mind, it's all about really questioning, did Mary really know who she was giving birth to? What impact that person would have, that person was indeed the Son of God? Did she really know who Jesus was? And Fatimah's question was, what if we treated every child as if they were divine? What if we treated every child as if they were divine? What if we anticipated every child the way that some of us anticipate the birth of Christ? What if we treated each other as if God was in us, God was working through us? What if we saw the divine in each and every person we encountered? The world would be such a different place, right? We have such a hard time even just seeing the humanity in each other. That's why beloved community is such a hard thing to achieve. You have to really work at it. You have to be intentional about it, because we're really not taught to see the humanity in each other, to love each other first, because we love the humanity in each other. That was Dr. King's point, really, is that we have to be willing to see the beloved humanity of every person that we encounter. If I love you, if I see your humanity, then I'm not going to dismiss you. I'm not going to set you aside. I'm not going to marginalize you. I'm not going to treat you in a way that dismisses your experience. It's just so profound to me, right? Like, I really wish that we could be that way to each other. That's God's plan for us, is that we see each other, that we really see each other, that we understand each other, that we empathize with each other, that we recognize that everybody, all of us, just want to live our best lives. And that in living our best lives, we don't have to diminish other people's lives. It's not a requirement. It's not necessary. So that really spoke to me. And that's really, I think, at the heart of what Kwanzaa is all about. It's all about community. It's all about working cooperatively together so that we can all live the life that we want to live, so that we can all thrive, right? So for me, that's what the Nguza Sapa really is all about. So, yeah, that, the other thing that I heard, this past week that really struck me or stayed with me was, on the radio, a pastor said, and I don't even remember who it was, to be honest, but this pastor was basically saying that there are people that, he said there are people that follow the birth of Christ. A lot of us celebrate Christmas, whether or not we're religious people, right? Christmas has become a big business, particularly in the United States. So there are lots of people that follow the birth of Christ. And he was challenging us to not just follow the birth of Christ, but to follow the way of Christ. And you've heard me say on this channel before that I am a follower of the way of Christ. So I use Jesus's life as a model for my own. And Jesus said love is the most important thing. Love God, love your neighbor. Those were the two things. And he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if I love me, I should be loving you. If I want what's best for me and my family, I should want what's best for you and your family. So I hope that if you are a follower of the birth of Christ, that you will consider what it means to be a follower of the way of Christ. The story doesn't end at the manger. It really ends at the cross. So those two things are really related. It really is all about love. That's what this channel is all about. Love at the center. Because if we put love at the center, there's no room for division and marginalization and oppression and all of those things. There's only room for goodness and light. So I hope you will consider that. All right, let's get into some creativity. I have been making a lot of things, mostly socks. I've been on the sock kick lately. I'm really trying to perfect my sock making. So I've made a lot of socks, and I've made a number for presents over the last few months. And I have a couple pairs sitting here because I need to put them in the mail. I made socks for my brother, sister-in-law, and my baby niece. So I have to show these. Aren't they cute? I love these. I hope they fit. She's still wearing 3 to 6 month old clothes, so I hope they fit. But even if they don't, it's okay. I'll make more. But they're so cute. And then my sister-in-law is a Ohio State alumna, so I made her some Ohio State socks. And And these are the Fox Sock Base. I think it's called Fox Sock at Harps and Thistles. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. Really nice. And love the way that this colorway knit up. Love it. And then this is some BFL sock yarn from Valkyrie Fibers. This was a one-of-a-kind colorway, I believe, if I remember right, that Lauren sent to me, along with some other things that I ordered. She does a great job on self-striping yarn, so this is just one example. This BFL, y'all, is really nice. I love the feel of it. I love these colors. I did a little fancy heel there on these. This is just a pattern I made up. I do all my socks 2 at a time, toe up, because I have one sock syndrome, so that's how I do them. So this is just like a vanilla pattern that I use, and I try different kinds of heels. So I've got those to put in the mail. I made a pair for my daughter using one of the sock tubes that I had the Lefty Knitter crank for me. And I sent her a box of Christmas gifts, and we FaceTimed her on Christmas Eve so we could all open presents together. And she put them on right away, and they fit perfectly. So I did that afterthought heel pretty darn good. And those will be really great boot socks for her, you know, because she works with horses, and so she's in boots every day. So some wool socks will be very good for her feet. So yeah, I've finished a number of hats, but I've given them away already. I think I showed you the blanket that I'm working on for my niece. I'm still working on that because I had a little bit of a mishap. Jet got into my office here. I usually have a gate up. Someone, not me, left the gate open, and he got in here, and he likes to mark things, and so he marked the bag that I had the blanket in. So I had to put it on some waste yarn and wash it. It's a good thing it's acrylic. So I've washed it a couple of times, and I think it's good enough for me to start working on, but so it's not done yet. So hopefully I'll have it done by her first birthday. So I'm not going to show that. It's over there. I don't want to pull it out. I've got several things on the needles right now. You can see my cart here has several projects that I have just put there and I'm not working on right now. And my goal for 2024 is to try and finish these things, or frog the things that I'm not gonna finish, and get them off the needles. The one that's in this bag right here is the last, not this past year, it was the 2022 Stephen West mystery shawl. And I don't know if you guys have seen that pattern, but it's got these braid things in them. And I got stuck there, like making the strips for the braids. I really want to finish it because I think it's really cool, but slogging through that part of that shawl, it wore me out, y'all. So it's still sitting there, but I am going to finish it. I love the colors of the yarn. I love the way it's knitting up. I think it's going to look fabulous when it's done, but I had to take a break from it. And that break turned into like 6 months, so I'll get back to that. I've got a sweater down here. It's actually the waffle cardigan that I've shown you guys before. It's been a while since I've shown it, Still not done. It's sitting there because I keep picking up other things. But my goal is to get that done too, because I really want to wear that sweater. I love the feel of that BFL. It's fabulous. So I can't wait to get that done. So those are going to be like my priorities moving into the new year. If I can stop casting other things on. So let me show you what I'm working on now. Here is another hat. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm trying to get better at color work. And so I'm taking a sweater class that involves some color work, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But as part of that class, the instructor had us do a free hat pattern called the Quick Ombre Hats. I will link it below. It's free on Ravelry, but it's a pretty simple color work hat, but it's a really good way to practice different ways of holding the yarn, just to get to figure out what's going to work for you. So I made one of those, and now I'm working on another one because I posted pictures of the first one I made, and I actually sent it to my cousin because it was Raider colors. He's a Raiders fan. It's a football team. And my sister saw it and she said, "Can I have a hat too?" So I'm making one for her. So here it is. Not very far yet, but I am, doing the color work here. And my floats look pretty good too. So pretty happy with this, and yeah, I'm really enjoying learning color work. The yarn, this black is a universal, which is 100% acrylic, and the variegated yarn here was a gift from a friend of mine. She actually got it at the New York State Fair, apparently. And I don't know a lot about it. It was 276 yards. It says WC. I mean, there's no information about like the content or anything, but the colors are really pretty. So, and it's knitting up really pretty. So I'll post pictures of that when it's done. I'll try to remember before I send it to my sister. Another thing that I've been working on this for a while. And I think I've mentioned this before, but if you need, if there is a project that you need help with, Fatimah, Disturbing the Fleece, you can schedule one-on-one time with her. It is well worth the money. You can have a private lesson. And I had this project that I told a friend of mine that I would work on. She saw this sweater. I'll pop a picture of the sweater somewhere in here in the editing process. And she didn't want to buy it on the interwebs because the only places she could find it were really questionable sites. And she showed me the picture and I was like, I think I might be able to replicate that. So I scheduled a one-on-one with Fatimah because I wanted to be confident in the plan that I had to tackle this sweater. And so she really helped me work through really a pattern for this sweater. So, what kind of ribbing to do, what the stitch pattern should be so it looked like this picture, how to get the right shaping and all of that. Some really good tips so that I could confidently start this sweater. So this sweater is I'm doing it bottom up, and I have split for the sleeves, and now I have to, it's a drop shoulder construction. So I've cast on either side of the front to make that drop shoulder. And I've got too many stitches on the needle right now. So let me see if I can show you this. So this is part of the sleeve. So this is the body. It's a really oversized sweater. It's got some ribbing. That is some seed stitch that you see there. And it's coming along swimmingly. It's bulky yarn, but it's taking longer than I anticipated it would. So I'm just working on it a little at a time. There's no deadline for it. But I've been putting some work in on that. And the other thing that I have on the needles right now is the sweater for the sweater class that I'm taking. So the sweater is the Easy Bee sweater. Oh, I forgot to tell you the yarn that I'm using for this sweater that I'm making for my friend. Gotta find the ball band here. This is Encore Chunky by Plymouth Yarn. There's the ball band. And it's color 54. It's 75% acrylic, 25% wool. And it's 100 grams, 143 yards. So definitely a bulky yarn. But it feels nice. It's going to be machine washable, which is what she wanted. And that's the other thing, you know, Fatimah was really good about suggesting yarns that would be good, that would give the right kind of texture given the picture, that would give the, you know, right kind of stitch definition, all of that. It was a great session. I can't say enough about that. So again, highly recommend if you need assistance for something like that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm working on is something that is really fun. So like I said, I'm taking a class at Harps and Thistles, which is my local yarn shop. The instructor's name is Coletta. She has many, many years of experience knitting. And she is teaching a class on the Easy V sweater. I can't remember who wrote the pattern, but I will provide a link below to the sweater pattern. And it's a fairly simple color work pattern, but color work nonetheless. And I just, every time I've tried color work, I've given up. So having this class to get the support for doing it and doing it successfully has been really good. So I split for sleeves, and then I started working on the sleeves 2 at a time. So it's kind of hard to show what it really looks like, but you can see the color work, which is what I really want to show. So, ooh, look at that, y'all. So this is not blocked at all, and I'm hoping that the bunchiness will block out some, but the colors are really nice together. Looks better than I thought it would. My floats are looking pretty good. Yeah, I just hope it's not too tight. I don't think it is, but the blocking will be the test of that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this knit. I can't wait till it's done. This is what I really want to keep working on. So I'm having a hard time spending time on that green sweater because I really want to work on this one just because it's fun. But I'll tell you about the yarns. All right. So most of these yarns are knit picks. So the blue here, this purple, and this gray, those are all knit picks, wool of the Andes. Wool of the Andes. Which is a really affordable, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It comes in 50-gram balls. Yeah. Worsted weight. Comes in lots of colors. It's the yarn that I made my son's cabled sweater in. So the purple is some leftover from my son's sweater. And then the blue and the gray I actually bought for a different sweater that I never made. That's okay. It happens. This blue is actually called, I don't know. Oh, Sapphire Heather. Really pretty blue. I really like it. And then the gray, I don't even know what the gray is called, to be honest. I'll find it and include it in the links. And then the other color, that variegated one, this is it. I love this stuff. It's got kind of that spin cycle vibe. This was actually some yarn that a viewer sent to me. It's called Fully Spun. And the colorway is called Fire Dreamer. It's 100% superwash merino. It says it's DK, but it says 100 grams, 235 yards. That's, yeah, I guess that is a DK weight. But it's got a homespun kind of feel to it. And it's working very nicely with this wool of the Andes. There's not a whole lot of difference in the weight, to be honest. And that pop of color that it has added is just fabulous, especially against that blue. Wow, I love that. So there's more color work on the sleeves. I'm going to do some modifications because in the pattern the sleeves are pretty balloony. I don't like balloony sleeves, so I'm going to really decrease on mine. I'm still going to do the color work though, because I think the color work is way cool. So there's one more class session this week. I'm obviously not going to have it done, but I'm going to keep working on that over the break. Our university is closed this week and I've taken some vacation next week. So my goal is to do a lot of knitting, y'all, and just not much of anything else. I did see the color purple. It's fantastic. I had the privilege back in 2006 of seeing the original Broadway production of The Color Purple in New York City. It was pretty fantastic, and I've been a fan ever since. Me and my daughter have been a fan ever since. Since then we've seen the musical a couple of times. I have the original film with Whoopi Goldberg on DVD. I watch it all the time. I know a lot of it by heart because I've watched it so many times. I've read the book. The movie is really, really good. And there's some new songs. So if you're familiar with the musical, there's going to be some familiar things. There's going to be some new stuff too. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you see it. It's a really good story. I stopped at the store on my way to the theater and bought Kleenex because I was like, I know I cry every time I watch the original film. And this was no exception. I was crying all through the movie. So be prepared. It's very emotional. But fantastic film. Other than that, I plan on doing, like I said, not much of anything besides knitting, maybe listening to some books. We always do a movie marathon on New Year's Eve. That'll be fun. We're going to do Lord of the Rings this year. So we plan a menu all around that. So that should be a lot of fun. I have had a lot of acquisitions. So I am definitely doing some cooperative economics. I have bought a lot of stuff. Too much to show you. But I am going to show you a couple of things. One I need your help with. So I'll start with that one. Look at this. This is a gigantic cone of yarn. My mother found this at a yard sale. Look at how much yarn that is. I don't know exactly how much yarn it is because it doesn't say. There is a label on the inside of the cone and it says H319 Kit Kat K10 Rose and some numbers and Tilsa Yarns, Tilsa. If you know anything about this yarn, let me know. I don't know anything about the content. It's definitely got some halo to it. You can see the fuzzies on there. And it's a pretty cool color. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I really don't. So if you've got some ideas, let me know. If you could use it, let me know. Because maybe I could just, gift it to you. I mean, there's so much of it, you could probably make a dress, right? So yeah, let me know. Ideas, if you have any information about the yarn, if there's something that you could use it for, because I don't have any clues about what I'd use it for. So yeah, it's pretty heavy, so it'd be pretty costly to ship. But let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, let me know. What else did I want to? Oh, I haven't opened it yet, but this is the Passion Knits Yarn Kwanzaa Advent. I will be opening this up later. I'll be showing it on Instagram live. So looking forward to it. Can't wait. It's fantastic. It's all about African American female inventors. So it's going to be great. These are always great. They do a great job putting those together. And I also ordered the one from, as I always do, Chicken Coop Dye Works. That one is on its way. So I'll be sharing that too when I receive it. The last thing I wanted to show you, and what I hinted at on Instagram, is that I worked with Cindy at Harps and Thistles. Cindy has her own yarn line called 1918 Yarn Company. Here is the label. And she's been dyeing for quite some time, and she does a really great job dyeing. And I told her, you know, I would really like a colorway to celebrate Kwanzaa. And really just to celebrate the anniversary of this podcast, which started on this date 2 years ago now, maybe 3. I can't remember. Maybe 3 years ago. And she was totally on board. So, so she asked me to, you know, figure out what I wanted. And so I sent her an inspiration photo. I'm going to post it here. So the inspiration for this is royal kente cloth. Kente cloth comes in many different colors and styles. But this particular kente cloth is one that is associated with royalty in the communities where they wear it. And one of the reasons I really like this particular kente is that it has Kwanzaa colors in it, red, black, and green. Those are the Pan-African studies, Pan-African colors, colors of the Pan-African flag. They're the colors of Kwanzaa. You know, the candles are red, black, and green. But as you'll see, that kente cloth also has a couple of other colors in it. It's really rich, kind of gold, and some royal blue, and a little bit of white. She really nailed those colors. Look at that. I'm going to take these out of this pouch so you can really see these colors. Wow, wow, wow. Aren't those nice? I love this. Like I said, she nailed it. And she put together a kit of all of these colors. So in the kit, you get the minis with all the colors, and you get a skein of natural. The yarn is all 75-25, so it's on her fox sock base, basically. So it's fingering weight. It's 100 grams, 432 yards in the skein, and then the minis are 20 grams each, about 56 yards. So 56 times 5 plus this 400. So in the kit, you get this, and you get Tammy Gore's Color Craze cow pattern. So it's a pretty good deal. And I would encourage you to hop over to Harps and Thistles website and order a kit. $5 from every kit sold is going to my chapter of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Akron chapter. So order your kit and then use it for the Black History make-along. How about that? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Because Tammy Gore is a Black knitwear designer. This was my idea. It's called Harlem Renaissance, y'all. So this will count too. And enter the Black History Make-Along with your kit and the cow or another pattern that you find that you might like. So I'm really excited about that. Really thankful to Cindy for being willing to jump in with me and do something that I really had a vision for. So thank you, Cindy. You are appreciated. And she donated the kit for me to give away. So to enter the giveaway, this is all you have to do. Like, subscribe, comment below. Your comment should be Harlem Renaissance. How about that? It should have Harlem Renaissance in it. If you don't know, the Harlem Renaissance was a period in history where there was a lot of creativity happening. It kind of started in New York City, in Harlem. There were artists and writers and musicians all coming together, hanging out together, being in community with each other, really sparking creativity in each other. And so there's a lot of poetry and literature and music, art that comes from that period. That's really, really great. It's actually one of my favorite periods for African American literature. Zora Neale Hurston was writing at that time. A lot of really good poets like Paul Laurence Dunbar and Langston Hughes were writing during that time. So check them out if you haven't already. Really, really good stuff. I wanted to name this collection for that period of time because of the creativity that was involved. Because what we do is creative. So I hope you enjoy that as much as I do. And I hope that you will go pick up a kit and celebrate Black creativity with me during the Black History Make-Along. All right, I think that's it. This has been almost an hour. Stick around and watch the footage that I have from gathering yarns. And I will see you next time. I'm not gonna promise when, but I'm gonna try and do better, y'all. I think I say that every time. It is what it is, right? Love y'all. Remember, spread beloved community wherever you are. You can be the change that we need to see in this world. Love you. Bye.